What's up, everybody? So let's talk about the unaliving of Sade Robinson. And this story came out a few days ago. And the person who unalived her was a 33-year-old man named Maxwell Anderson. And take note that Sade was a 19-year-old woman. And she was found mutilated and dismembered by this demon. He's a demon, right? And it's a sad case that she was unalived after going on a date with this man. First time meeting this man, he wants to take it upon himself to unalive this 19-year-old woman. Sad case. Sad case. And please, no insensitive comments, because this is a white man who unalived a black woman. And I don't want to hear people saying, well, she should have been with a black man. Some black men unalive black women too. Y'all heard of black femicide, right? So let's not get in the comment section talking about she should have been with a black man. It don't matter. It does not matter. She was unalived. Okay? So let's get into this whole situation. As of today, Maxwell Anderson has been charged in connection to the unaliving and mutilation of Sade Robinson. Officials in Milwaukee, Wisconsin have charged Maxwell in connection to the unaliving of Sade, who is a 19-year-old woman who went missing a couple of weeks ago. And police arrested Maxwell Anderson during a traffic stop and identified him as the investigator's person of interest regarding the unaliving of Sade Robinson. Although the incident remains under investigation as detectives unfold every piece of information that could paint the picture of what happened, Milwaukee police informed the public that the police department contacted them about a report on a severed leg found at Warnermont Park. The leg seemed to be amputated from the hip down and belonged to an African American female. More human remains were discovered in the area, but officials have not identified the remains belonging to Sade. The details of Maxwell's relationship with Sade are hazy, but police believe the two met at her job. An apartment building employee told police that Sade expressed her excitement about a date that she had planned for April 1st. A complaint including several events that unfolded on April 1st, including text messages allegedly between Sade and Maxwell, arranging to meet at a restaurant called Twisted Fisherman. Maxwell told Sade that he had to pick up a W-2 form because he used to work there. And then Maxwell reportedly arrived first and told an employee who confirmed Maxwell was a former employee about his date. Around 5:30 p.m., the two consumed drinks and food before exiting the restaurant around 6:30 p.m. and getting into Sade's car. In the car, Sade texted a friend on Snapchat and they left the restaurant's property around 9:06 p.m. when surveillance captured two people arriving at the house. At 9:24 p.m., Sade's phone was located near Maxwell's home. Officials are investigating the matter and searching for more possible remains. And I'm looking at another article here. It says that Maxwell unalived and then dismembered Sade with the intent to conceal her slaying. And he has been charged with first-degree intentional homicide, mutilating a corpse, and arson of property other than a building. Sade was missing since April 1st when a co-worker reported her missing after she did not show up for work. Her car was later found torched. Police said that they used an app to track Sade's cell phone on the night of her disappearance, which helped them find their suspect. And court officials says that Maxwell was taken into custody last week in connection to a severed leg found in the park, Warnermont Park. And Maxwell's duplex was also searched by state investigators last week on Thursday. And the police said that the leg was found in the park belonged to Sade, though they haven't yet determined whether the rest of the body parts found there are hers. In court on Tuesday, the state said they found blood in Maxwell's home. In a statement sent last week, a Milwaukee County Sheriff spokesman said, with finding the human leg, their investigation continues and gains steam. Since that statement, there were 3 straight days of new body parts found across Milwaukee County. Woo! Mm, 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 mm. Friday, investigators found a body part near 30th and Lisbon. Saturday, unidentified human remains were discovered near 31st and Galena, and Sunday near 30th and Galena. Police confirmed human remains were found. The Milwaukee County Police said during a conference that their thoughts and prayers go out to the Robinson family, friends, and the Milwaukee community who have embraced this family. We are sorry for your loss. It's such a tragic incident. And Sade was born in Vicksburg, Mississippi, but moved to Milwaukee with her mom, Sheena Scarborough, before she was 2 years old. She split her time between Florida, where her father, Carlos Robinson, lived, and Milwaukee. She graduated high school a semester early after deciding to live with her mother and leave Florida. Sade, who attended Milwaukee Area Technical College, worked at Pizza Shuttle and was adored by many of the customers and employees. Her mother said that she only had a month left before she would have obtained her associate's degree in criminal justice. Wow. Her mother said that Sade looked into joining the U.S. Air Force, having come from a family of veterans, with her grandfather being a retired U.S. Navy veteran and her uncle being a U.S. Army veteran. Wow, this is so very sad. So very sad. And so let's get into Maxwell's criminal history, because he has had some legal issues over the past years. And yeah, this is crazy. And I'm almost sure that with Sade being a 19-year-old, that she did not know about investigating and looking into these people. Like, what 19-year-old would be like, okay, let me go investigate this man? I don't think so, to be honest with you. But it's sad that she was taken away from her family and taken at such a young age. It's just so crazy. Maxwell's criminal background includes convictions of domestic abuse, disorderly conduct, and drunk driving. And court records suggest there have been concerns about his mental health and substance abuse as well. He lived in Milwaukee, but he also lived in Colorado as well. And he worked a number of jobs as a bartender or security at several Milwaukee establishments, and most recently at Victor's nightclub, where a manager described him as well liked and a good worker. While Anderson was visiting his family from Colorado, a relative returned home from work in July 2014 and found Maxwell acting strangely and sweating profusely. He would not answer his relative's questions. Eventually, Maxwell began screaming and throwing things and shut his relative in a room while he tried calling his father on the phone. When a deputy arrived at the home, Maxwell stole his relative's car and crashed it into a patio when he returned to the home. He also got into a physical confrontation with another relative that resulted in the relative breaking multiple ribs. Maxwell ended up in the hospital with a broken collarbone. One relative told investigators she believed Maxwell was under the influence of drugs or alcohol. Maxwell was charged with 2 misdemeanor counts of disorderly conduct. He pleaded guilty to 1 count in October 2014, and he had to pay a $416 fine. During the court proceedings, Maxwell changed his address from Boulder, Colorado to Oconomowoc. Y'all, I don't know how to pronounce that, honey. But anyway, In June 2015, Maxwell had been staying in relatives' basement in Egg Harbor for about 2 months. The relatives told officers that they tried talking to him about house rules because he had been coming and going whenever he wanted and wasn't cleaning up after himself. At one point, a relative suggested that Maxwell seek help for mental issues, and Maxwell reacted violently. He threw a glass, punched a hole in the wall, and smashed the relatives' 2 cell phones when they tried calling the police. Without a landline phone, a relative then had to go to the neighbor's house to call the police. The damage Maxwell caused was estimated at more than $1,300. Maxwell was charged with 4 misdemeanors. In October 2015, he pleaded guilty to 3 of them: criminal damage to property, intimidating a witness, and disorderly conduct, domestic abuse. He was placed on probation for a year and was required to pay fines and restitution, along with maintaining full-time employment or schooling and completing any programs deemed necessary by the Wisconsin Police of Corrections. During this time, Anderson reported an address in Sister Bay, but eventually changed it back to Oconomowoc. In September 2019, Anderson was arguing with a woman on the 2300 block of West Wisconsin Avenue in Milwaukee when a witness tried to intervene. Maxwell then attacked the man, and a video showed Maxwell on top of him while punching him. He was charged with 2 misdemeanors: battery, which was dismissed, and disorderly conduct, to which Maxwell pleaded guilty. He was given 1 year of probation in order to maintain employment, submit to random urine screens, perform 25 hours of community service, and pay more than $7,000 in restitution to the victim. Maxwell paid the restitution. At this time, Maxwell was living at a Southside Milwaukee address that he eventually purchased in 2020, according to the property records. In January 2022, Anderson was pulled over by the West Allis police after an officer saw a vehicle driving about 70 miles per hour in a 30-mile-per-hour zone and run a flashing red light. Maxwell said he was coming home from work as a bartender and security guard at a Milwaukee bar. A breathalyzer showed a blood alcohol content of 0.145. He had an open container in the car and admitted to drinking alcohol. It was his second drunk driving offense, the first conviction coming in 2014. He pleaded guilty to this misdemeanor, and he was again placed on a year of probation. He was ordered to pay $350 fine, and his license was suspended. In August this year, Maxwell was cited for driving while suspended in Milwaukee. This month, at a court hearing, Maxwell's probation agent reported Maxwell was testing positive for that white stuff, that cocaine, THC, and alcohol. A Milwaukee County judge then ordered Maxwell to maintain sobriety as a condition of his probation. In March of 2023, Maxwell was discharged from probation. So, y'all, he has had a long list of like disorderly conduct, abuse, drugs, everything. And it's very sad that Sade got connected with this man after going on a date with him. This thug demon needs to be arrested and thrown under the jail, and the key needs to be thrown away in the trash, because he is demonic and he's evil, and he just needs to be put away and away from everybody else, because he'll do it to someone else. Who knows how many women he have done this to. Yeah, we got another Jeffrey Dahmer, honey. And like, y'all, this is scary. It's really scary. And as a woman who has put herself back on the dating scene, I'm thinking about tiptoeing back, okay? Because I'm scared, okay? And no man can come over to my home. I will meet you at the restaurants. I will not pick you up. I will not take you back home. But first of all, if you don't even have a car, you should not be trying to date anyway. But either way, yeah, I'm just saying, like, it's scary. I'll say this, it's very scary. You have to go into full-blown investigation mode in order to like vet these men. And it's really crazy. It's really sad, to be honest with you. So what do y'all think about this whole situation with Maxwell being charged with the unaliving of Sade, after just meeting her for the first time after their date, he decided to unalive this 90-year-old woman. Y'all know what I got to do. Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe to my channel, share this video, like this video, and y'all know what I got to do. Stay tuned for the next video. Bye.